Hello. And welcome to the 15th Confession podcast. As it turns out, I'm on the computer. Would you look at that? So, what I'm going to be doing is configuring a few things for use on the computer. Hello to Sarah Bishop and Young and Demented. Hope you guys have had a decent day. Today, we're going to be focusing on morbid thoughts as a topic for our confession podcast. So, here I am just fiddling around with the size of the text on the side of the screen, and hopefully that'll be fine. Gonna go back in there and make sure the cursor isn't captured. And since I'm on the computer, hello Lucky Dragon, hello Cheshire Cat, I thought that what I would do, hello Hannah, is screw around with a little bit of whatever fits the morbid criteria with things that I'd be looking up on Reddit. Sounds pretty straightforward. So hopefully whoever might come in between people confessing, would be at least a little bit in the mood for that. Here's hoping everybody's had a great day so far, and that things go even better from here on out. What I found first is a list of, well, scary causes of death, and it seems pretty strong. I'm wondering if I even want to start there, or if I want to build up to that. Quarter Yui says, I can't help but think about when everyone I care about dies, and how I'll be alone. Well, if you're lucky, then you'll beat them to the punch, and be the first to die. You know, just teasing. But you never know. It's the nature of life. I really do hope everybody's been having a decent day or afternoon. Whatever's been going on with you guys. But what I'm going to do is probably just dive into some of these. As crazy as it seems. So, here we go. What I'm going to do is make it so that you guys can see it as well. How considerate is that? So, oh boy, we're going to have to minimize that a little bit so you guys can see it all in the frame. That may be a little bit better, but I don't know. What I'm going to do is squeeze it and then make it bigger. And that way I think it'll be way easier for people to read, just so that they can follow along. I'm going to be diving way deeper in some of these than I normally would, but why not? In the interest of fun, for the stream. Funky Donkey says, hey Kyle. Faith says hello. Professional Commenter says hello. And Sarah Bishop says, it's more of a bad dream than a thought, but I have a reoccurring dream half my life that I get into a car accident, fly through the windshield, land on top of the car head on, and I see my dead body lying on the hood, all smashed up. Sucks that that's a reoccurring dream for you. A lot of people just dream about them falling or maybe drowning, something that's out of their control. But this seems pretty specific for something to be reoccurring. I hope it doesn't continue to plague you, and I hope that you don't live in fear of it potentially happening, because that sounds like it sucks, and I genuinely apologize. Kodayui says, Jesus, Saradas. That's insane, you know? Funky Donkey contributes that his morbid thought is the fact that I will never be able to taste Ed's sauce from Good Burger. What a tragedy, Funky Donkey. I'm going to go ahead and dive into this list, which is saying, which has people contributing what the weirdest death that they've seen is. So number 37. Ooh. It's like my brain smelled numbers, so it immediately just had me yawn. But number 7 is, not a medical professional, but I was working as a security guard at a major hospital. I saw several disturbing things come into the ER. I got a few stories, but I'll share one of the weirder, more interesting ones. Ambulance rolls in hot. I'm on the dock and open the back door to find the big old biker looking dude strapped to the gurney, trying hard to come off of it, struggling with the paramedic and hollering, "Let me die, I want to die." Fuck me. Help the paramedics get him back into the ER and begin to hear the story. Fuck me, what the fuck? Funky Donkey, you crazy son. He goes on to say, biker dude has attempted suicide with a pen. Okay. He stabbed himself in the chest with a pen, pulled out the pen, and repeated the process over 12 times. Well, that seems pretty ridiculous. Guys, give me a second here. I forgot to do something with this stream. The fuck kind of biker tries to kill himself with a pen? I wonder what happened. Somebody named Armenia says, I'm afraid to be beheaded. I watch those radicals in the Middle East still lingering to my mind to this day. Sorry to hear it. I know that these things happen. Pretty scary stuff. That being said, this guy stabs himself in the chest with a pen. He pulled out the pen and repeated the process over 12 times. Now I'm thinking I'd really have to want to die to stab myself in the chest, but I'd really, really have to want to die to pull it out and repeat. The biker dude really, really wants to die. What happened? He doesn't care how many paramedics, nurses, orderlies, and security guards he has to fight. There was 14 of us who held him down for the docs to work on him. He was restrained, but he was a big old biker and would have come out of restraints without us holding him down. Turns out, biker dude has pierced his heart and blood is pumping into and filling his chest. Jesus Christ, he's pierced his fucking heart. Ugh. We have a young resident who is in the phase of training where he is to make the decisions while the experienced doctor looks on. Resident is in panic and asks the older doctor what to do. The older doctor answers all his questions with, "You're the doctor. Is that your decision?" God damn, so let me help him out. The decision is that the blood must be drained from the chest before it stops his lungs from functioning. So the doc takes, I shit you not, a cordless drill and chucks a hole saw about the diameter of a quarter and drills a hole through the biker dude's rib cage. He then inserts a plastic tube and drains the blood into a 5-gallon bucket sitting on the floor. All 14 of us hold biker dude down while this is going on. As you probably imagine, bike dude got his wish. He did not live much longer than it took to drill his chest. Jesus Christ. You guys wanted Morbid. God damn, I guess that's number one. You know what I mean? That's the first thing I fucking read tonight. What a nightmare. Professional commenter says, my morbid thought is that when you sleep, you can die anytime without realizing it. It's the truth. Is that really so bad though, guys? You know? Is that really so bad? Just trying to position this properly. Anyway, Bunky Donkey says, I would try Mondo Burger. Oh, you guys are talking about burgers, goddamn. Jeff Moto, how are you doing? Jebed Miser says, Kyle, I'm the one who said that I got away with robbery when I was 11. Just wondering if you want to know what happened. Go ahead. It's the Confession Podcast after all. Raphael Reed says, my morbid thought is killing everyone you know with no remorse. Well, when you don't know how to spell remorse, you take that rage out on everybody else. I'm kidding. But yeah, no, everybody has thoughts like that. As long as you don't put them into action, you know, you're all right. Young and Demented says, when I was younger, I used to get abused by my dad and my older sister. Used to fantasize about brutally murdering them. Haven't killed anyone at this point in my life, though. Well, that sucks that you haven't killed anybody. I'm just kidding. It sucks that they abused you, and I apologize, and I hope that, you know, that they find a fate, they meet a fate that is satisfying to you, I guess, for your personal well-being, and that you are somehow made into a better person for these experiences, and I apologize. I hope that it's molded you in a way where, you know, those around you, maybe you can find a way to make it so other people are spared that kind of nightmare. Professional commenter says, what's your morbid thought, Kyle? I don't know. Could just end it all some days. But isn't that everybody's morbid thought? Jeff Moto says, good, how about you? I'm fine. I'm glad that you're well. You guys being well? You know, it gets me along. Guys, welcome once again to the 15th Confession Podcast. Tonight we are talking about morbid thoughts. As usual, feel free to confess anything that may come to your mind. But if you're looking for a topic, there it is. You have it. That being said, we're going to dive into another one of these entries in a list that I found that examines the weirdest causes of death from morgue workers, pathologists, medical examiners, and maybe other people that were just in an emergency room. Number 38 says, I work as a medical assistant in a hospital. I had a guy come into the ER with maggots eating his legs. What? He then ate the maggots. Nigga, what? And died later that night. Not sure what the cause was, but I think it was probably the maggots eating his fucking legs. Well, there you have it, folks. Here's another one. A welder dropped dead working on a ship. It was determined that working down in the piss-filled bilge, the metal he was welding onto the ship made molten droplets that fell into the liquid around his feet, caused a high enough ammonia concentration to kill him. This was determined by a lab partner of mine who collected her urine for samples several days running and dropped an inch of red-hot Bunsen burner heated rebar into those urine samples in flasks. The welder died from piss. Okay, guys. Alright. Now, Jebed Miser says, I broke into my neighbor's garage multiple times, and one time I got in their house. Oh, Jebed, why? At 11 years old, why would you do that? You know? What's going on in your life? I know a lot of kids get bored when they're young, but where were the drugs? You know what I mean? Find some drugs when you're that young. Don't be breaking into people's houses. Benjamin Brady says, it's okay, Stripes. I was late too. Oh, everybody's late, apparently. There's no correct time to arrive here. You guys, can come and go as you please. You can even watch this after the fact. I just want something here for you, in the event that you feel that you need a distraction. Young and Demented says, that's right, Sean. Also, that's the plan. Thank you for the kind words, Kyle. Man, you're welcome. Maggots are good for medical purposes, but that's fucking sad. Yeah, that it got to a point where the maggots were eating his legs. Funky Donkey says maggots are probably a delicacy somewhere. You're very correct about that. You're very correct about that. We could go lower, so why don't we? Like it's limbo or something. Number 40, nurse here, had a patient who had not had a bowel movement for 14 days. Fucking kill me. I tried enemas, Miralax, digital disimpaction, etc. Patient started having extreme anxiety and shortness of breath. Doctors were aware. Hours later, she ended up vomiting her own stool and choked to death on it. It's not gonna get more metal than someone choking on their own shit. I have a text crawl. I'm going to add that to the text crawl. What the fuck? So for those of you who may have been arriving late, so far we've read stories where a biker has stabbed himself in the heart with a pen. We read another one where somebody died after maggots were eating their legs. We read another one where a guy was welding and died from the urine, and another person just choked on their stool. So much shit on the inside that they threw up the shit and choked on their own stool to death. That's not the way to go. That is not the way to go, guys. You've heard it here. I don't think anybody in this stream right now can say that they've heard a less appealing way to fucking die. That's the worst way to die right there. With shit in your mouth, son. Shit in your fucking esophagus. I'm sorry for this mental image, but you knew what you were getting into when you clicked Morbid fucking. Wow, boy. Wow, boy. Benjamin Brady says, not a morbid thought, but my childhood best friend tried to stab me with a broken bottle of whiskey a month ago. I'm sorry that this is happening so recently. Why did you say a childhood best friend? Are you still friends with this guy? You know, pro tip, guys, when it comes to life, people start trying to stab you with broken whiskey bottles. You know, that don't be friends with them, huh? That sound crazy? Sounds crazy, I know it. But don't be friends with people getting fucking... Oh boy. I should probably make this a little bit smaller. Nope, that's the wrong window. Is this it? Okay, and then I can put this text thing. I can put that at the bottom, right? That's good. Guys, welcome once again to the 15th Confession Podcast. I hope you guys have had a decent day or evening or whatever the hell time it is for you. Go ahead and confess whatever the hell you want to as usual. If you need a topic, though, I've provided morbid thoughts as something to just steer you in a direction that makes a bit of sense. Kevin Mateo in the stream chat says hello. Hello, Kevin. Hope you're having a great day. And Amanda is here as well. Hope she is doing just fine. If you missed some of the entries that I made so far, we are in a list of people who died from weird causes. And, one biker stabbed himself to death with a fucking pen. He stabbed himself right in the heart, but he really wanted to die. So there's that. Maggots ate another guy's legs. Someone choked to death on their own shit. Holy crap. Oh my God. Lucky Dragon says, one time I put hand cream all over someone's swing set, and it was their hand cream that they left outside. Good thing it rained later that night. What the fuck you mean hand cream? Kota Yui says, why didn't the doctors just cut the poop out of the patient? I'll have no idea. All I know is that, like, I don't want to think about it. It's so sad and scary. There can't be a sadder way to die. Ugh. Benjamin Brady says, it wasn't some crazy fight, referring to the bottle incident where he got stabbed. We were just hanging out with each other and things got pretty heated. I'm okay though. I'm sorry they got so heated, and I hope that kind of thing doesn't happen in the fucking future with the bing bong. Can you imagine just hanging out with a friend of yours and he's just like, you know what time it is? And he breaks the fucking bottle and he tries to stab your ass. What time is it for real, homie? You know what I'm talking about? Candy Stripe says, confession. If I die tomorrow, I only hope that my squishables won't be given to a dog. Oh, Stripes. She's so sad. Stripes had a queen size bed and her mom was like, nah, I'm not about this queen size bed anymore. You can't keep your room clean, or whatever her reasoning may have been. So they put the bed outside and now it belongs to a dog, and Stripes has a twin bed. Stripes had a bed and now she has a smaller bed, and the bed that she used to have goes to a dog. So that's why she says that her fear is that her little stuffed animals won't belong to a dog when she dies. That's adorable. Young and Demented says, well, there was that 20-year-old dude who had been constipated from birth. What a load of shit. You proud of that one? You proud of that one? Somebody just died choking on their own shit in here, and you're saying stuff like that. Oh my God. Kota Yui says, write a note saying, bury my squishies with me. Stripes. Funky Donkey says, I have a real morbid thought this time. I understand that with my entire family, I am the bottom of the totem pole, spelled P-O-L-L. I wonder why you're at the bottom of that pole, hon. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It doesn't affect me as much as it used to, as I have grown used to it. Growing up that totem pole. That's fucking genius. The totem pole. Okay, I need to take a poll from people, and tally up, some people. The totem pole, delicious, guys. Once again, welcome to the Confession Podcast. This is the 15th iteration. Go ahead and feel the need to. If you feel the need to go ahead and bing bong out my brain. Fuck words. So Sarah Bishop said, did you know that fecal vomiting is a real thing? When your intestines or poop chute is stuffed with a blockage, so the body... What do you mean, do I know it's a real thing? Of course we know it's a real thing, because somebody just choked on their shit earlier. You were here for that, Sarah. Sean H says, playing Overwatch is my morbid thought. Hi, Kyle. Oh, Sean H. Me too, man, because sometimes there's so many people sucking ass in Overwatch. I don't know what to do. Oh my God. So guys, we're in a list, to reiterate, of morgue workers, pathologists, medical examiners, and ER people who are seeing the weirdest causes of death. So to move on to number 35, there is a cause of death, approximate cause or immediate cause, a mechanism of death, and a manner of death. The cause of death, the disease or injury that initiates a chain of events, brief or prolonged, which produces a fatal outcome. Approximate could be a gunshot, while immediate would be complications due to a gunshot wound. What a technical cuck. Mechanism of death, the final physiologic derangement incompatible with continued life. Oh my God. You go away now. Number 34. Okay, I remember reading this article when I was doing research as an intern for a dental marketing agency about a 24-year-old who died basically from a toothache. He had a wisdom tooth that needed extracting, but didn't have any insurance, so he didn't go through with it. Then it got infected and his head swelled up, so he had to go to the emergency room. They gave him prescriptions for antibiotics and pain medication, but he could only afford the latter. Oh no. So the infection ended up spreading and he died as a result. I thought it was pretty weird at the time because I had no idea that was possible. Well, people not getting the medical treatment they deserve because they can't afford it is a thing that's very possible in the States. And it happens often, and it sucks that our system, being so focused on money, saw another person slipping through the cracks of life. Slipping through the cracks of life. Oh, man. Sorry. Kodayui, no wait, Young and Demented says, just makes me think of that South Park episode where they stuck food up their asses and did reverse digestion. What a fun episode that was indeed, wasn't it? Kodayui says, why would your butt be blocked though? What would be blocking it? Some people get impacted, shit, dude. Everybody in the world gets constipated, When most people sit down to take a crap, it's apparently just supposed to come out. So if you're ever in there grunting or it's because there's some manner of blockage. So imagine it just being a little bit worse than that. Imagine it being a little bit worse, a little bit worse, a little bit worse, to the point where it's like stuck in there. Some people have to go in and literally have the crap scooped out of them. This is really not something I want to elaborate on. If you are confused about the way that poop works in some people's bodies, then Google that shit. All that information is raw and available for you, and I hope that you don't have to sift through too much scat and terrible porn just to find it. Sean Watson says, confession, for I may reason. I sometimes like to, something tells me he meant to write some reason, but it auto-corrected to I may, which apparently his phone has learned. For some reason, I sometimes like to imagine that what it would feel like to have sex with a very elderly woman. I mean, a warm hole is a warm hole, dude. How elderly are you talking? Scary elderly? Because you're a daredevil if that's the case, man. Sarah Bishop says, no. Damn. Sarah Bishop says, no, I thought you said that someone ate their shit and vomited it up. No, they didn't eat their shit. Their shit was clogged and they had to vomit it up because it went up through the body like you described. That's what happened. What you described is what happened. They didn't eat the shit. That was another guy that ate maggots and the maggots were eating his leg. Oh boy, what a world we're living in. Jebet says, hey Kyle, is Kyle your real name? Yes it is, bro. Sean Watson says, I wrote some reason. I know what you meant. Young and Demented, Sean, there are plenty of websites for you to make the dream into a reality. I recommend not telling your wife, though. Oh my God. Lucky Dragon says, when I drop my stuffed dragons on the ground, I feel bad. Do you really own stuffed dragons, Lucky Dragon? Are dragons your thing? Are you a furry, Lucky Dragon? Tell us the truth. Sean H says, this isn't a morbid thought, but the poop thing reminded me before Christmas last year, Mike Parakeet died similarly. That's not a cool way to die as an animal. I can't imagine what happened. Confession from Stripe says, if I had gotten myself killed either by my own clumsiness or something out of our control, while in Florida with you, you would have been held accountable without even being involved. I know. That's why I was more upset with you for not being as careful as... more upset with you for not being careful than you ever were. Because I am your fucking caretaker when I'm around you. Wonderful. So, as we travel up the list of, crazy deaths and their causes, number 33 reads, my mom was a ME for years, medical examiner. and she has a handful of interesting stories. As a kid, I grew up on pictures of dead people, and she sometimes would ask me to go over her reports to verify that her points were getting across. Because if a 14-year-old can understand it, so can a 40-year-old, right? Anyway, I remember 2 specific instances that brought horror to my young brain and sheer joy to hers. A dude committed suicide via suffocating, choking himself on his wife's panties. Now that's what I'm talking about. I like it when Hannah flexes her power. She timed out someone, and it seems as though they deserved it. A motorcyclist accidentally rammed himself into some woods. His head was twisted around all demon-like. What my mom was so excited to show me was his legs, because it was a 1 in a million case. The dude had gone spread eagle and perfectly struck 2 trees on each side of them, basically snapping off his legs. My mom was so excited. "Isn't that cool?" she exclaimed. I remember it so vividly. Damn, your mom was like waiting for watch people die. Somebody said, "I want to date your mother. Her interests align with mine." Isn't this cool? Holy shit, Mom. Damn, Mom. If only we could browse watch people die on the stream. Now that would be a little bit morbid. Is it that bad? Is it that bad? Am I getting struck for it? Jeez, YouTube. Jeez. YouTube needs to calm down with all of that shit. It's not being like TV that put you on the map, YouTube. Now you trying to be like TV. That's where you fucked up. That's where you fucked up. I should put PayPal.me somewhere. That's what I'm talking about. Over in the comment section, Lucky Dragon says, "I'm not a furry, but I'm obsessed with dragons. I might make a dragon costume one day, though." So you're not obsessed enough to have bought any of those dragon dildos? Are you a boy or a girl? We're curious. Kota Yui says, "Lucky Dragon, are you a Hanzo or a Genji main?" Uh-oh. Jeff Moto says, "I know of a Gage that one time Gage out a man's eyes, stabbed them 10 times, and give him the knife so he could off himself if he wanted the pain to end." Okay. Sean Watson says, "I've been with the same woman for 10 years, never caught her pooping once. I have heard the fart once, but didn't realize it till 5 minutes later." That, you're a lucky man, Sean. You got yourself a special woman. What a wonderful union. 10 years. Congratulations, man. She's a lucky woman, Sean. As Kyle winks. Unbelievable. Welcome once again, everyone, to the 15th Confession Podcast. Tonight we are, confessing anything as usual, but if you want to be swayed in a certain direction, just tell me what your morbid thoughts are. As we continue up this list of morbid causes of death that people have been in the midst of, we reach number 32. Weirdest case was a guy who committed suicide. Wasn't hard to figure out, but the weird part was that he and his friends were having some sort of suicide race. Is this a movie? Like, who could kill themselves first? We realized this kid, 21 I believe, had overdosed on a mix of heroin, alcohol, and some other stuff. That was his 3rd attempt that week. We saw that our pedestrian versus train from a week before was one of the friends in this pact. Jesus Christ, you know this is a movie, right? You know that there's a movie like about a suicide club, and it's Japanese as fuck. Don't commit suicide by train. It's really messy, and we have to walk like half a mile of tracks to make sure we find all of you. It's less about the mess. You don't care about the mess if you're killing yourself, but you should care about being a decent enough human to not, get other people caught up in your bullshit. So yeah, that includes the people who have to clean up your mess, and potentially the people who could be put into danger if they're on the train and something goes wrong. So if you're going to kill yourself, guys, take it from me. I'm kidding. I continue, plus you're forcing the conductor to kill you. Yeah, that's a heavy burden on a conductor who's just trying, I just want to drive my train, oh god damn it. But the thing that made me mad was that this guy knew he was trying to commit suicide, yet he wore 3 damned pair of pants. And I was in charge of undressing the body. Why would you, who's wearing 3 pairs of pants? Is it cold? Who's wearing 3 pairs of pants? And that necessary information isn't in there, so we have no idea what's going on. We have no idea. Whatever. He wore 3 damn pairs of pants and was in charge. I was in charge of undressing the body. We couldn't cut the clothes off in case the family wanted them or something. Undressing a body that's already in rigor mortis is hard, no pun intended. He had a pair of jeans, then a pair of Superman pajama pants. Underneath those, a pair of Charlie Brown Christmas boxers. In February. I swear he did it just to piss off the morgue worker. That happened to be me. Another weird one was a guy who committed vehicular suicide by slamming into a Jersey wall on the highway. The car stopped. His body stopped. His heart kept going. Completely transected and fell into his thoracic cavity. Then the car burst into flames. So we have a super crispy critter that came in. He was in burn position and completely blackened to charcoal-like state. His brain looked like he had a hard-boiled egg. His brain looked like a hard-boiled egg, and blood coagulated into jello. Oh. That was a mess, all because his girlfriend dumped him. Guys, don't let relationships drive you over the edge, guys. Don't let relationships drive you over the edge. Forgive me for missing a couple. Allow me to scroll up. Confession from Travis Skiles. I constantly think of ways to murder those around me. Very gory. I was once in elementary, sent to a mental hospital due to it. Well, let's just say it like this. Everybody has morbid thoughts. You've been in your car before and thought, I could open this door right now. What would I do, roll out? I could open somebody else's door and just push them out. God damn, that's what I'm talking about. Just riding on the highway thinking I could open this fucking door. But the separation from that urge and a action is what, makes us who we are. So thoughts aren't really hurting anyone normally, you know what I mean? As long as you're not deciding that you're actually going to kill people, they're just that. Usually just harmless, morbid thoughts. I'm sorry that they were manifesting themselves in ways where people were like, we better put this kid in some kind of institution. What were you, drawing things? You writing a diary about how you're going to kill everybody? Was it some kind of elementary school student manifesto written in crayon in your journal? Or maybe on your live journal back in the day on fucking, that's a reference that's dating me. Nobody knows what that is. Live journal. As we scroll down, I don't see any more confessions. So guys, I'm going to continue up this list. Number 31 on this list of strange deaths that people have seen. Well, I'm not any of those, but I always found the death of Gloria Ramirez to be fascinating. Not much as in how she died, but what happened to those around her in that final hour. Staff reported magenta-colored particles in her blood just before the nurses started fainting. After the third one passed out, they ended up evacuating the emergency room, leaving behind just a skeleton crew that tried to stabilize Ramirez unsuccessfully. I think I heard about this one. I think I heard about a woman who had, quote, poisoned blood. Gloria Ramirez, this is from the Wikipedia, was Riverside, California's woman dubbed the Toxic Lady. By media, it was even worse than toxic blood. It just seemed like toxic shit was coming out of her body. By media, when several Riverside General Hospital workers became ill after exposure to her body and blood, her case was the basis for a scene in one episode of the American TV series The X-Files. You know how long I've been dying to find somebody to watch all of the X-Files with? because I really want to get through it. Every episode is an hour, man. And it's damn good television. It's just like, god damn, that's long. It's 9 seasons of this shit. 9 seasons of like 20 episodes, all of which are an hour. Fuck my life already. You know what I'm talking about? Jesus Christ. I could watch 1 episode of that shit a day. And would I get through it in a year? I don't know, man. You guys are the mathematicians. Tell me what's up, you know? Once again, everybody, welcome to the 15th iteration of the Confession Podcast. Feel free to confess anything that's on your mind that you may want to get off your chest. If you feel the need for a topic, make it morbid, son. Kota Yui says, I had a cab driver talk about how he hit a hooker with his car and held the pimp by gunpoint. That shit was crazy. I'm so excited. Sean Watson says, I want to be shoved in a styrofoam cooler with duct tape wrapped around it, then floated down the river. Well, as long as it's just a river. A lot of people want to go over Niagara, and I'm like, y'all have no guarantee that you're going to survive that. That's the craziness. Lucky Dragon says, Kyle, I am a girl to answer your question. That sounds hot, Lucky Dragon. That sounds hot. I mean, it makes it better that you're a girl because, you know, I think it'd be kind of weird for a boy to be associated with dragons in a way where it's like not sexual and they're not, you know, a little bit autistic. For a girl, it's almost just like fine, you know. A lot of girls have like a specific thing that they're really into. You know, it's usually just autism in the boys, unfortunately. Like, I know some guys who are crazy about Pokemon, like to a crazy extent, crazy about Sonic the Hedgehog to a crazy extent, and it's because they are autistic as fuck. Travis Skyle says, no, I was asked what I was thinking about and told the fellow student in great detail about how I wanted to kill them. Well, that's where you fucked up, Travis. Did you learn anything from that experience? Hannah says, I'll watch it with you, Kyle. Aw, yeah, boy. We gonna watch us some X-Files in the heat of the night. Young and Demented said, naming my daughter after Scully. I love the X-Files. I'm so down. We could all watch it as a stream. If everybody had the time for that, but you guys don't. Who be she, who is Amanda, says, no one wants to watch the X-Files with me either. I get yelled at about the music is creeping people out. Man, come on. People are weak. Kota Yui is real on that. That's weak sauce. The music is come on. Hey, is this you, Nicholas? Somebody's named Mr. Thorne. Oh, would the want to join the U.S. Army count as a morbid thought? Yes, it is. Because you know what the hell happens to most people joining the army. The government considers you expendable. Since I have a want to serve this country, and I don't feel remorse in a way normal people do. That doesn't mean just default to the army, dude. Much respect for people in, you know, uniform. Much respect to those who have served or are planning to serve in the army. It's just like, you know this country, man. You know this country. You know what kind of shit always shocks me? And here's a morbid little, you know, I don't know. Let me just type in Vietnam graveyard or something. You know what I'm talking about? That's all we got to type in. And then when you see like, whoa. What the fuck? Not in Vietnam. Something like this. You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? When you see pictures like this and you're realizing like, yo, these are real places. This is a real fucking place. You know what I'm talking about? That's that kind of shit that trips me the hell out. That you don't really want to think about. It's how many lives got lost when they were just throwing them like M&Ms, like Skittles at other countries. Pretty crazy stuff, bing bong. Hey, wait a minute. Wasn't I using that last tab? No, this is a new tab. What the fuck? Guys, I love you. What? Sarah says, when I die, I want to be rubbed down with oil by a bunch of old men and have one of them accidentally get a ball of old man back hair down my throat while I clean him like a cat and choke to death. Moving on. Kota Yui says, Kyle, Dragon is like 15, man. What? How do you guys know that? Is that a morbid thought of your guys? Like you guys wanting her to be 15? Ew. That's not even passable, you know? 16-year-olds somewhere, they passable. They roll out and they're like, oh my God, what's going on? My double D's. You know what I mean? And you're just like, well, you know? But nah, 15. Whoa. You better get out a whip and a chair. Whoosh, back with you, back. Candy Stripe says, confession. I'm not looking forward to seeing my horse die. That doesn't say horse. That says heroes. I'm not looking forward to seeing my heroes die. I regret not forking over to Don Bluth's Kickstarter because I knew that was my only chance to indirectly or directly interact with him. Well, you know, death is a natural part of life, and we need to accept it because one day we won't be here. Amanda says she's been to a couple of military graveyards. It'd be way too existential for me, man. I wouldn't be able to keep it together. Wouldn't get like emotional or anything. I just hate it. When you think about it, back in the day, they were drafting people against their fucking will, dude, to go fight a war that they didn't really care about. Some old stuffy niggas have a disagreement and they got money. These fat cats, literal fat cats. So they just send, you know, young boys to go fight a war for them, you know? It's as simple as you and I having a fucking disagreement and getting real heated about it, and then us going, hey, you over there on the road, here's a gun, fight with this person about it. And then the person goes, no, I'm gonna pick another person and give them a gun, and then they can fight, and then we'll see what happens based on what, you know what I'm talking about? What the fuck? Bing bong. All right, bing bong. Excuse me. Thank God. Sorry. I don't know why I said thank God. Wait, whoa. Number 29 edited their post. So it's not even a thing anymore. That kind of sucks. Look, as we travel up, we'll go to number 28. I run a forensic science summer program for high school students, and we take them on field trips, one of them being a forensic medical center. The medical examiner there said that he once had a boy come in without a head. The man apparently was decapitated, and the body was dumped in the river. The kicker is, though, that the killer was the boyfriend of the victim. His boyfriend was found to be in possession of his dead boyfriend's head. The head had traces of semen in it. The stomach contents did not. When you decapitate a man, you gotta fuck one of the holes. Is it gonna be well? The head goes on, or will you use the mouth? You gotta fuck the mouth. Fuck the mouth. Fuck the mouth. Fuck the mouth. Fuck that mouth. I should have made that in tune with the actual music, but I don't care. Fucking a decapitated head, dude. It's not even a woman. I get it. Some people have different sexual interests, but man, what did the boyfriend do to you that you're so mad at him that you're gonna kill him? You're gonna cut his head off. Severing a head ain't easy, folks. Severing a head is not easy. Faith says if she ever wants to kill herself, she's going to jump into a volcano. Faith, you don't get the option to kill yourself. If you ever feel like you want to kill yourself, you need to come visit me and work as my personal secretary. And then through years of you doing what I ask you to do, you'll feel self-worth because you've helped, you know? You've helped, oh my gosh. And you think jumping into a fucking volcano is going to be a quick end? Do you think that's not going to be painful as hell? You're going to burn to death. You're going to burn. You know, you're going to feel every bit of that. It's like drowning to death. Drowning isn't immediate. That shit gets into your lungs and you're there a while. You're choking to death. It's nuts. It's nuts. Guys, you know what I just thought of? If a man is into other men, and he's dating a guy, and he kills him, and he wants to sever the head. That's like severe hatred. But then he wants to fuck the head? You know, I don't think that's normal. I don't think people who would cut a man's head off and then fuck the head is just like the type of thing that springs up in the middle of the night. I'm thinking maybe the guy denied him sex. Yeah. He was like, I will not fuck you. And he was all like, I'll fuck you one way or the other. This D, one way or the other, this D is going to get in that M. And he was all like, over my severed head. And that's what he did. He severed his head. Funky Donkey says, question, would you rather have a voice in your head telling you to kill yourself at all times? I already have that, so let's see what the other thing is. Or every time you go to bed, men will sit in front of your bed screaming, nightmare, nightmare, nightmare. Man, you really are like 12 years old. So if the other person that was lucky is apparently 15 years old, you guys will all get together just fine. Congratulations, because there's one thing that a lot of the people in the older iterations of my streams couldn't do, and it was keep their autism in check. But if you're only just now making comments that bad, then I'm proud of you, because it means that you've exercised restraint, which means you're not as bad as some of the people on your tier. And I appreciate that, Funky Donkey, more than you'll ever understand. Almost as much as I appreciate my patrons. You know what I'm talking about? My patrons. Oh, you mother monkey thought I forgot. Uh-oh. Wait a minute now. Okay, so Candy Stripe says, I want to kill myself by drowning in jello. What, like coagulated blood jello? Where's my phone? I just heard it. Interesting. Sarah Bishop says, JK Sean, me being 28 years old, what is it, just like the ASL stream in here now? Guys, after this, I think I'm going to make like a 24/7 stream. What should it be? Should it be like a depression chat? Is that crazy? It should be like a depression help, a depression hotline, 24/7 help chat. That's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be. I'm not even playing. I'm not even playing. This stream's been going on for 52 minutes. Tell you what, when I reach the top of this list, that's when it'll end. But we're only at 28. You got plenty of time. So as we continue upwards on the list of, you know, weird-ass ways, crazy ways that people were dead, 27 reads, a man fell into a septic tank and died because of suffocation rather than drowning. Found after 3 days. That was one autopsy my staff let me skip, as I started to retch the moment I opened the door to the autopsy suite, despite wearing an airtight mask. How can the fucking mask be airtight and you're still smelling it? That's so scary. How can the mask be airtight and you're still smelling it? Isn't this the second time that Hannah has timed out Jebed? Would you rather kick a wall? Okay, he's on the would you rather kick. Who started that? Some other idiot. It was Funky Donkey. Don't let Funky Donkey bring out the teenager in all of you, okay? Because it's not even like you're the huge titty, you know, Spanish teenager where you guys are developing way too early. And not Spanish like you're from, the phone really keeps going off, I don't know where it is. And not like Spanish like you're from a Spanish place and you're living in America. I'm talking like overseas, you know what I mean? In those other Spanish places. Those kids are just developing way too fast. And they're the ones that are getting married at like 16 and all this bullshit. It's terrible. Must be scary as hell in other places in the world. But not the cool places that get free healthcare and shit like this. You know what I'm talking about? Sean Watson says, Kyle, you should do a confession about our favorite things. That's a subject more people can participate in. Okay. I'll try it. Wait, Faith is playing Stardew Valley? Oh, she says she just bought Stardew Valley and she loves it. Faith, find out if it's multiplayer now on the PC. Because I had it but never got into it. I think Stripes got it, and then she beat the hell out of it. You know, that's the bottom line. Stripes also goes on to say, if I lost use of my left hand, I'm sure I would have a huge identity crisis and could not cope. It's because she draws and typically gets paid when she feels like drawing, even though nobody bothers Stripes to draw real gangster shit often. And she can draw gangster shit, she just chooses not to. So if you guys exist in a capacity where you're just like, you got money to throw around and you don't feel like throwing it at me, because hey, sometimes I feel like I need to earn it, you know what I'm talking about? Throw it at Stripes and ask her to draw something that has her get off her fat, lazy caboose. I'm kidding. Stripes says she's very capable and she does things, etc. Inspirational thing here that's like sweet and nice. Here we go up this list though, guys. Holy shit. Faith just laid the smackdown on this Cartesium guy. Oh snap. I love it when Faith flexes her power. Faith is the newest patron. Very spicy. Faith, if I may, you know, I may. Oh my god, I just realized what I said. I was going to compare Faith to May, and everybody knows how much I love May. But I kept saying if I may, which is stupid. So let's continue up this list. Number 26 is a fucking doozy. So hopefully you guys are prepared. Number 26 reads, I guess I'm late to the party, but here's a secondhand experience of something my cousin went through a few years ago. It's the fucking weirdest thing I've ever heard, and it's worth a read. Damn it. I need to share this with more people. So, my cousin and his best bud from med school wound up at the same hospital. His friend became a mortician, and my cousin is a proctologist. One morning, my cousin gets a call from a patient. He had an appointment with a patient he had an appointment with later that day. Patient asked secretary if he could come in early. His issue was getting far worse. When asked what was going on, he refused to explain. He demanded to speak with my cousin. Now, my cousin has a terrific bedside manner, the best I've ever seen. He made it a point to speak with his patients whenever they need to. So he gets on the phone with this guy, and the guy starts pleading with him. So my cousin had an opening and told the patient to come in during that time. So the patient comes in and is sitting in the exam room, and my cousin walks into the room and asks him what's wrong. The patient proceeds to strip, fully nude, gets on all fours, and sticks his ass out at my cousin while on top of the exam table. The guy began to explain how his asshole keeps leaking shit and it hurts really bad, except my cousin apparently immediately saw that it wasn't leaking shit at all. This guy was leaking half of his goddamn intestines. Like half a foot of intestines were just protruding from the guy's anus, and would throb and pulsate with every breath the patient took. At this point, I wish I could say my cousin got the guy the help he needed, but before my cousin could do anything, the guy just screamed, "Just yank this goddamn thing out of me, get it out," as he reached behind himself and yanked his goddamn intestines so hard that his asshole erupted with a fountain of blood, coating the nurse and my cousin. That was apparently the most inhuman scream that Steve, my cousin, had ever heard that day. The guy was in so much pain after yanking his intestines out that he passed out and fell off the exam table, smashed his head on the corner of a chair, and died instantly. So cue Steven's best friend, the mortician, doing an autopsy, Cause of death was pretty straightforward, all things considered, but apparently his friend found an unraveled slinky string throughout the patient's digestive tract. Like the guy took a slinky and ate it while straightening the metal out? Nigga, what the fuck? if somebody told me a story about a man going in and having his intestines falling out his asshole and then yanking the intestines out and falling off a table and hitting his head on the side of a monkey and then fucking killing himself, they told me that the story gets crazier, I couldn't believe it. But to find an unraveled slinky, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Anti-Care Bear. Isn't that Jackie? Sweet Jackie. I can't fucking believe this that I just read. What the hell? Dan McKee said, God is great. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm just gonna... You think there's responses to this? Somebody said, what the fuck? Brain bleach engage. Purge, purge. Ooh, boy. Oh my God. Oh my God. So, let's continue up to level 20, level 25. Yeah, it's like the next level for me. I don't know what to say. Number 25. All right. I should add that to the text, huh? Let me add that to the text. What do you call it? Intestine prolapse. Slinky eater. Okay. So now that's on the crawl. My God. My God. Stripe says, confession, my reverence for you borders on religious. Man, the only thing the religion of Kyle demands is an occasional offering. You know what I'm talking about? What do I even want? Somebody bought that water filter off of my wish list, and I really want to thank you personally, because I realized the other day that when I was making some cranberry juice that I've been drinking this like Lakeland water, and like maybe in a year or two I'll be used to it, but I sure as hell am not used to it now. So I was like, man, I need a water filter up in this bitch. And as soon as I put it on the wish list, it was gone, which means somebody probably got it. Who did it? Who got that? Number 25. I'm not either, but I was talking recently with a friend who was an undertaker at a funeral home for about a decade for sometime in the late 70s and 80s. This was when they were in charge of collecting bodies directly from the scene. So, someone is driving on a country road in Oklahoma, noticed a car out in the field, and a young girl, 16 to 17, ooh, the best age, I'm kidding, crying and screaming hysterically. I gotta stop making jokes like that because somebody's gonna take it seriously. Anyways, the car was a T-top Firebird or something similar. There was a headless body in the driver's seat. Jesus, take the wheel. So there was a headless car in the driver's seat, a head in the back seat, along with another boy who had been split in half at the abdomen. This girl was hysterical. So they couldn't figure out what the hell had taken place here. Turns out the driver had been sticking his head up out of the top of the car while driving, and the other boy was sitting up out of the T-top. They lost control, went off the road, through a barbed wire fence, One or two of the wires went up over the top of the car and cleanly severed the driver's head and the boy passenger in half. He said that it took the better part of an hour to determine what happened. Then he collected up the pieces and went on with his day. Okay. Okay. Stripes is hitting us with them cranberry juice facts in the damn stream chat right there. Cranberry juice facts. Cranberry juice is a very good substitute for water since it does wonders for your kidneys. Lack of water can cause your kidneys to shut down. So if you aren't getting your crazy amount of fucking water in your life, just snap into a bottle of that cranberry juice. You know what I'm talking about? To make everything alright. You want some cranberry juice facts? Here it comes, coming at you. Urinary tract infections refer to the existence of certain microorganisms in the urine exceeding normal levels. But if you drink that cranberry juice, it's not gonna fucking happen. Did you know that cranberry juice can prevent tooth decay? Cranberry-tacular. Did you know that cranberry juice also prevents cancer? So if you feel like you might about to have some of that cancer, now that's not funny. Cranberry juice ain't gonna prevent no damn cancer. The fuck are you talking about, internet, with the cranberry juice now? Alright. Master Momo says, hey Kyle, how are you doing? I'm fine. How are you? Okay. Cool guy in the house says, I made it. You did it. You did it. Lucky Dragon says, Kyle, do you like Noiverns? I don't know what those are. I can't pretend, and I'm sorry. I'll tell you what I was looking up today where that we saw these pictures of, well, actually, I think I sent them to Stripes. So I can just open up her thing and then click it. As I saw these posters for, you know, it was a Treehouse of Horror, you know, it's like a posters from the different Treehouse of Horror episodes. And I really, really love it. What I need to just do is like get a printout of this and take it to what, like a Kinko's or somewhere where they can print out like a big glossy thing from my ass so I can frame it, put it on a wall, because this would be neat. Because you know they're trying to sell the prints online for like $50 and obnoxious prices like that. But I just want my damn poster on my wall, my pretty neat poster. Jeez. With that being said, let's continue up this list. I get sidetracked so easily. You have to forgive me. You have to forgive me. Number 25 is what I just read, Kyle. Number 24. The short of it, a man died from endometrial cancer. Man had a transplant prior. Woman who gave the transplant had metastatic cancer that had spread to said organ unknowingly. The man survived the transplant, but the cancer cells from the transplanted organ populated, and he ended up dying from her cancer. Oh my God. We were just fucking talking about cancer. What are the odds? What are the odds that Stripes comes in, makes a comment about cranberry juice that had nothing to do with any of these stupid things that we were reading, okay? It was about me and my filter that I put on my wish list that somebody had bought from me. And I said the reason that I put the filter on the wish list is because my grandmother got me a whole bunch of concentrated cranberry juice drinks that all I need to do is add water to them, but the water was straight from the tap. And there's usually not something wrong with that, but I just moved to where I'm moving to, and the water's kind of weird to me because I'm new here. And I made the comment, oh, maybe in a couple of years the water will be fine, but right now I want a damn filter. So I got a filter. Stripes makes her comment about the cranberry juice. We go to a cranberry juice site on a whim just because I'm a weird guy, and I'm just like, oh, look at all the things that cranberry juice can prevent. Cancer, get fucking real. So we go back to the list, and now they're talking about cancer in a list. Cancer kills somebody in a list? Man. Cancer, baby. It's everywhere. I'm scared I'm gonna get cancer now, dude. You know? I'm scared. It's coming to get me. Sarah says, I'm so afraid of my intestines falling out of my butt because I literally just had a Slinky for dinner. But yanking things out of my butt is my favorite activity. Well, aren't you going to have a baby soon, Sarah? So hopefully there will be doctors on deck to yank the baby out of your butt for you so that you don't have to. Okay? So that you don't have to. Welcome once again, everyone, to the 15th iteration of the Confession Podcast. Feel free to confess anything or just lurk. I know a lot of you like to do that. Okay? Special thanks, of course, to all my sexy patrons who help me do this ridiculous thing that I do on almost a daily basis. In the midst of people confessing, I'm going to go ahead and continue my way through this list of odd ways that people have found that other people have died. If you're arriving late and you didn't see, a biker stabbed himself with a pen, somebody's intestines fell out and then they yanked them out and they died from it, only for the autopsy to show that they had eaten a metal Slinky. Another person choked on their own shit after vomiting it up because it was coming up and then choked on it. Another guy had maggots eating away at his legs when they brought him in, and then they proceeded to eat their own maggots. This list has only gotten stranger and stranger as we've proceeded into it. But let's get even deeper. And by deeper, I mean proceed to the top, where the highest people upvote some gangster shit. Quick confession from Funky Donkey. Me and my friends used to feed LSD to this little retarded girl in our neighborhood, and when we'd lock arms around her, go nightmare, 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 nightmare. It actually cured her retardation. Now, I know that you just stole this, okay? But it's not funny. That's the real problem, dude, is that it's not funny. Do you get what I'm saying? Part of me really wanted to block your ass, but I can't consequence you for being stupid, and that's all that you are, okay? The thing is, I have seen Hannah make a move on you before, okay? So don't test the waters here, because I'm not as lenient as half of the girls are. And wait a minute, I think actually the girls are a little bit more easy to trigger than I am, and that's exactly how I like it, because, you know, it keeps the stream nice and clean. Nice and clean stream. Candy says, confession, cancer runs so deep in my family that I know I will rot away to cancer one day. No, Stripes. No, you won't. You'll be okay. Sarah says that she's going to listen to this and go to sleep, but she keeps saying her eyes keep shooting open and she has to see her doctor in the morning. I don't know what's making your eyes shoot open, but, you know, if it's me, then you should just turn me off so that in the morning you can deal with this doctor appointment. Let's continue upward, guys. Number 23. My grandfather did some work as a doctor in Indonesia. He told us stories of people who'd had pathogens living in them and eating them from the inside out, some in really grotesque ways. Some people had fungus on them that basically sucked their lives away. So not a coroner, but still kind of interesting and gross. Please don't refer to my wife as a fungus, said some funny guy with a comment. What a funny guy. Oh my god. Master Momo says, Kyle, may your immortality rub off on Stripes. You guys think I'm going to be immortal? Why you guys think I'm always asking you to send me nice things and be my patrons? My days are numbered, guys. Any day now. Which is why I need to crank up the amount of content I throw out. So that even when I'm gone, maybe I can serve as a distraction or a little pick-me-up to the types of people that find themselves feeling the way that I felt in the past. And I wouldn't want anybody feeling like that. Which is why I have to try my best to lift them up. And hopefully YouTube doesn't shoot itself in the fucking gut and bleed out like it's trying so hard to, so that in the future these videos will have a place to be, even if they're not much to most. Number 22. I worked at a funeral home for a few years. First ever house call I took was to pick up a guy who died at home. Heard from his son that he hadn't been at the doctor's in 20 years. We take him to the medical examiner and discover he had a hernia on his scrotum. Oh boy. Causing it to be the size of a football. Not sure how he lived with that thing, but he was wearing jeans and a jockstrap to keep the thing in. His toenails looked like dragon toenails, so that's something for Lucky Dragon, because she's all about dragons, as he obviously couldn't bend over to clip them. You know it's fucked up when the medical examiner calls another medical examiner on duty to say, hey dude, come check this out. Football-sized balls because of a hernia, dude. Football-sized balls. You got dragon claws for your toenails, y'all. Oh boy, these are some sad ways to go, but I'll tell you what. Hey, I actually got some kind of message. Message from a girl telling me that Noivern is actually a dragon bat Pokemon. So somebody was asking me about that earlier. I didn't know what it was, but I guess I know now. Macaroon hits me with a confession. I know it was literally a day that kept me from being born in poverty. I remain both forever thankful and terrified of the thought of how my life would be different. It was literally a day? How? Were you on a plane like the day that you were born? And that if you had the baby, if she had the baby then you might have been stuck there? Sounds like a very interesting story. Sounds like a very interesting story. Well, let me continue up the list while we see if you're interested in telling that story. Welcome once again, everybody, to the 15th Confession Podcast. Hope you're having a good night. If you're feeling like lurking, you do just that. Number 21. My dad told us a story where one time they had a guy bleeding out on a table from a stab wound. They stopped the bleeding, but his vitals were still taking a dive. Someone points out that there's too much blood. They turn him. It's coming out of his butt. Someone had stuck a light bulb in the guy's ass, broken it, stabbed him up when he tried to escape, and he still escaped. They stabilized him, but he died of septic shock. Now, guys, let's talk about it. I think the answer is obvious. If you have so much shit in your ass that it's like clogging up your intestines and going all the way up to the point that your body is now trying to vomit up the shit, and then the shit gets caught in your throat, you know, and you're tasting the shit as you're choking and taking your last breaths, and then you die. Is that a worse death than feeling broken glass in your ass and then dying from shock, septic shock? I think we know that the first one is the worst death, but they're both pretty bad. You know, they're both pretty intense. And I apologize, even for the mental image. Jesus Christ. Mario Mystery Box arrives. Oh, whoa, Mario got some shit to say about Sean. I'm gonna give Mario Mystery Box is finally on his last strike. He's finally on his last strike. It's been a great ride, Mario Mystery Box. You fuck up one more time, we're not just going to be looking at deaths in a list on Reddit. There's going to be a death in the fucking stream chat tonight. As we travel up to number 20, this one seems to be interesting. My ex-employer was a funeral director / coroner in Nebraska. He told some crazy stories. Number 1, he found a dead guy in the laundry room, glass bottle taped to the agitator on the washing machine. Broke when the guy attempted to pleasure himself by sitting on it. All his guts were in the wash tub. Ooh. Number 2, suicide by train. We saw this earlier. The guy basically exploded, but his brain landed perfectly intact between the tracks. What a marvel. Number 3, lots of horse fucking stories where guys are kicked to death and found with their pants off in the stables. Oh my God. Hannah ain't trying to hear that. Hannah is not trying to hear that. A man trying to fuck a horse. Why? Oh my God. Buy a dildo and just gradually work it up until it's huger, I guess, dudes. Why are you trying to fuck an animal? It's an animal. That's what you guys don't get. Oh. God, that makes me cringe almost as bad as the choking on shit one. Fuck me. Number 4, drunk driving farm equipment never ends well. Oh, what a world, what a world, what a world. Professional commenter says, Kyle, I would have to say the broken glass. I could probably have saved myself by throwing up in the trash, but that's me. What do you mean throwing up in the trash? It's not about where you're throwing up or how it's going down. You're choking on that shit that's coming up from inside you. It's like, imagine choking on vomit because the vomit won't stop, but it's shit that is fleeing your body up and out of your mouth because it can't go the other way. Imagine like a bottle that is trying passionately to just push all of the fucking fluid to the bottom, right? But it can't do that. So it needs to find somewhere to go. It's going to try going to the top now. That bottle is your body, and that fluid is the poop. The fluid is the poop. As we travel up this list, number 19, brother and sister 5 and 7 playing hide and seek in a hope chest. Can you imagine 2 little kids dying in a fucking chest? That sucks. God, that sucks. They get fucking trapped in a damn chest. What a nightmare. What a nightmare. Look, man, we proceed to number 18 here. My time to shine. I'm a former paramedic and currently work as a therapist in an inpatient nursing home. They're known as community living centers, but I digress. I had a hypersexual client who would masturbate with a urinary catheter in place. He ended up getting a urinary tract infection and died due to complications associated with it. We would joke that he died doing what he loved. The place is sure a lot quieter without him. He was a lot of fun to work with. These are just grossing me out at this point. Jesus Christ. Number 17. All right. I'm a nurse, and this 80-year-old man had anal fissures and was admitted to the ICU because he shoved an entire frozen D-cell-sized He shoved a giant flashlight up his ass and perforated his bowel. He went into surgery to have it removed and later died from septic shock. Gross. What kind of life you guys living? You're not being more careful, shoving shit up your butt. What? You guys are shoving things up your butt. Disappointing. I want to believe more of the human race. You fucking humans. Kyle Willard says hello. Hello, Kyle Willard. It's nice to see you all. I hope you're all having a great time. Number 16. I'm not a medical professional or a mortician, but I think this story is relevant to the question, so I'll share it anyway. A few weeks ago, I was driving a guy to the hospital 3 hours away. He was a truly amazing man and regaled me with a myriad of fascinating tales of his youth and previous jobs. He got on to explaining to his family and how he had 2 nephews, but now only had 1. I asked him what happened. Apparently, his eldest nephew, around 28, was riding his motorbike on the weekend out on the countryside here in the United Kingdom. They found him later that day, dead on the side of the road, on a corner. Motorbike next to him, with no obvious signs of impact or anything that could possibly have led to his death. It took a long time for them to work out what happened. Eventually, they found a small bruise, about ½ an inch in width on his temple. After some investigation, they discovered that the corner of the road had been resurfaced and had some loose stones on top. They concluded that as he rounded the corner at about 30 miles an hour, the bike had slid from beneath him. As he rolled to the side of the road, the footrest on the bike had entered the corner of the helmet through the hole where the visor was open and hit him in the temple, killing him instantly. Nothing reckless, no one else was involved, just bad luck. Sometimes, that's all you need. Hannah's imploring people to restore my faith in humanity. It's cute because Faith's named Faith. Her name is Faith. Wow. I auditioned for so many projects today. I doubt I'll hear back from any of them. A lot of them were silly. But one of them was for this channel called What Culture. But all they have are stupid, English motherfuckers narrating all their stupid videos. I'm kidding. I love them. It's just kind of one-sided, as it is. I always wonder what's on your mind sometimes. As we proceed up the list, we arrive at number 15. Former biological anthropologist. As an undergrad, I worked as a forensic anthropologist. This is the weirdest case she had that I got to see for myself. It was from the 1920s. My boss had inherited a coroner's collection of old, interesting bones he had collected during his tenure in a major city. Back then, coroners could just take whatever they wanted from bodies without telling the families. Old school, motherfucker. If the individual was poor, indignant, and an immigrant, a minority, they really helped themselves, sometimes taking the whole body. The coroner took a lot of stuff, even re-articulating some of the best pieces, reconstructing how they looked when they were attached to the rest of the person. So, anyway, she had this collection she inherited of several of the pieces, and several of the pieces are designated what she calls death by testosterone poisoning. What? They did not literally die of testosterone poisoning. They all died because of risky, stupid, and ridiculous actions. Think Jackass, only with no monetary payout. The weirdest one was from early last century, a white man in his 40s who died from sepsis from the multiple arm fractures that he got during an arm wrestling contest. Why multiple fractures? Because even after cracking his humerus, the upper arm bone, a bit he couldn't bear losing, so he just wrapped it up with some kind of splint, had some guy hold the fracture, and went for best 2 out of 3, whereupon he snapped the humerus all the way through and broke his radius and ulna when he slammed the arm down on the edge of the table in anger. Can we just proceed up? These are genuinely making me cringe. And that's crazy. That's crazy that these have the capacity to have a fucking effect on me. You know what I mean? People choking on shit. A guy's eating a metal slinky and then pulling his own intestines out. What is happening in the world? What is fucking happening? Jesus Christ. You guys better be not talking about that furry shit in the damn chat. Every time something like this happens, it just gets more and more out of control. Emily's sending me text messages that just says deepens. Oh my god. Shirley knows how to make me laugh. As we travel up this list, we're arriving at number 14. Number 14 reads, I've seen quite a bit. Working at the OCME has been a summer job that morphed into a side job while I'm in school. The 3 top unusual calls I've been on are as follows. Number 1, a man went to hang himself, and when he jumped off of his apartment balcony, he left so much slack that it took his head off. His head was on the one lady's balcony and his body was on the ground. When we were there, we couldn't find the head, so we had to knock on a couple of doors where the rope was hanging in order to find it. What a world. Number 2, a man died of a heart attack while masturbating. The responding officers left the porn playing on the television just to make it awkward when I arrived. It was a cassette. Okay. Jesus Christ. Number 3. A man was sitting on the railroad tracks at a railroad crossing to commit suicide by train, which is very messy and annoying to have to pick up, mind you. But a drunk driver was trying to catch air over the tracks and killed the guy, but threw his body off of the tracks before the train came a couple of minutes later. Nice. Bonus, since his inbox is blowing up, a man shot himself in the head with a shotgun in his bedroom and left the ceiling fan. You know, the saying, shit hit the fan? Imagine his brain matter hitting his fan. He basically reprinted his walls with an interesting spatter pattern of brain matter and blood and pieces of his face. I tried to clean up as much as I could for the wife, although I'm not required to do any cleaning of the scene. I'm actually asked not to. Sometimes I feel bad for people. Anyway, don't shoot yourself in the head until you turn off the fan, please. Gnarly, dudes. Gnarly. Welcome once again to the 15th Confession Podcast. This, you know, I didn't exactly think it would be this gnarly, but you know, what do you want? This is what people want. The crazy thing is, some of the people who would enjoy this list the most aren't even going to come into it because a lot of people don't come into the streams, you know. Got a very particular fan base. And some of these people are very interesting. But I love them as they are and would never ask them to change. Why is Stripes saying don't abuse me? What's she doing? What are you guys doing to Stripes? Professional commenter says, Sarah, well shit. I don't know what to say. Maybe talk to your spouse about it and find someone that can make it comfortable for you. Oh my god, are you guys talking about anal? Stop. Gross. Ugh. It's like even gayer in the stream chat. Guys, I'm getting to the end of this list. Number 13. I worked briefly as a morgue assistant a few years back. The job mainly consisted of moving corpses and holding organs while the pathologist did his thing. By far the most what the fuck worthy death I saw was a guy who had been working in a factory getting himself off by rubbing his cock on the underside of the high-speed conveyor belt. he was meant to be operating. He got caught, and it tore off most of his crotch, ruled as deaf by misadventure. He had bled out, torn a femoral artery, before the paramedics even made it to the scene. Wow. Cock on a conveyor belt. Cock on a conveyor belt. This list is taking a lot out of me, man. How long have we been doing this? 1 hour and 30 minutes. It's not as crazy as I think it is. Number 12. Working the ambulance for a barricaded male. Okay. What does that mean? What is a barricaded male? After an hour of standby trying not to fall asleep, a cop bangs on our window, frantically to call us into the house. Guy put a shotgun in his mouth, but must have flinched last minute and blew his face off. He was left with just a scream hole that was fluttering flaps of torn flesh, not unlike a predator mouth for a face. One time I ever saw an ER nurse shriek at the sight of it. Somebody else says, in my city, there's a woman who had exactly the same thing happen to her when she tried to kill herself during a meth binge. She has half a prosthetic bottom jaw with a hole in her face where her upper jaw and nose are supposed to be. Because she doesn't have an upper jaw, her mouth hole stays open and she walks around with the gaping hole exposed. I met her when I worked at a makeup counter, and she had me apply makeup to what was left of her face. The smell was absolutely disgusting. There's talks of her being a hooker, but that is absolutely horrifying to think about.
What the fuck is going on with this list, baby?
Guys, I love you, but I think I need to stop this list and start from the beginning, because it's like some of the dankest shit I've ever read in my life. This list is dank as fuck, you know what I mean? I need to read this list as just like a self-contained thing. Maybe. I don't know. This list is so dank, man. Damn. I don't know. Let's continue, I guess, man. Number 11. I'm an apprentice funeral director, but we had an autopsy tech come into my school one day to do an autopsy demonstration. He was asked this very question, and this was his answer. Male mid-50s presented with jaundice and other signs of alcoholism, but supposedly no history of drinking. During preliminary observation, techs noted a red liquid coming from the anal area. Assuming blood, it was tested. Came back as red wine and blood. Turns out the deceased was a closet alcoholic who would give himself enemas with whatever alcohol he had. In this case, red wine. I'm sorry. The doctors concluded he pierced part of his colon rectum with whatever he enemaed himself with, and that led to a bleed. Red wine, you make me feel so fine. Oh my God. Sean says he knew a girl that snorted so much coke that she got a hole connecting her nasal to her mouth with no palate. Oh God. It is a different world for addicts.
It's a different world.
Guys. I'm going to stop at 11. Then I'm going to go stop at number 20 maybe. And then I'm going to read this list later. Because this list is pretty good, and I think it would make a good list for everybody else. So guys, consider yourselves like part of the, part of the screening club here, you know, where you saw the list before it became a big list. Because it was crazy. And I am dying. I'm tired as hell. As you can probably hear, I apologize. And you know I'm here for you whenever you need me. Special thanks. And I thank you, and I love you, and I apologize, and I'm dying. And that's that. Guys, what's on your mind? What's going on with you guys? I almost feel like just leaving the stream on all night. You know what I mean? What's stopping me from leaving the stream on all night, man? Who the fuck is Shadow's edgy roll? Oh, it's Mario Mystery Box. Oh my God. Mario's Mario. That's not funny to somebody. Yo, Lady Spook and I used to really get a kick out of his dumbass names. There's something so juvenile about them all. Mario's Mario. Mario's Mario. Oh my God. What an idiot. What an idiot. Oh my. I wish that Amazon would let me put the Velveeta chicken Alfredo on the wish list. But it won't let me. I can only buy them as part of Prime Pantry. They got me good, bro. Prime Pantry got me fucking good, bro. Why is Stripes calling when the stream's not over? Stripes, I'm in the middle of a stream and you know that.
I know, but it seems like it was winding down anyway.
So you don't care about whether or not the stream is over?
It isn't?
No. We're still going.
Well, I figured since you're done, well, not done, but winding down, if it'd be okay if I rudely came.
Stripes wants to take the show over, I know it. So share screen,
I didn't
Stripes.
say
That's
that.
what this is. That's what it is. Stripes wants it all to herself now. This is so nuts. I didn't even think about that. It's like, oh, well, now that it's my stream now, my stream, okay. Look at my drawings, there we go. Every gets more and more butters every time.
What do you want me to draw then? What? What do you want me to draw?
I don't care.
You should. You should fall asleep on the stream and let people hear you snore.
I don't snore, dude. Okay? Right, dude?
Okay.
I don't do that, dude.
Oh no!
What?
I don't think my pressure sensitivity is working, but I'm gonna have to try a few times because sometimes I have to open it 8 times before it actually works.
I think you're way louder. I think you're way louder than you need to be, so give me a second to adjust the volume. Try something now.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be here trying
What
to
the
draw.
fuck? It's not even doing anything. Hold on. Alright, try it. Try saying something now.
I'm gonna be really upset if I can't draw.
Why wouldn't you be able to?
I just said the pressure sensitivity isn't working the way it should.
I don't
But
know.
I guess that wouldn't stop me, just wouldn't give me smooth lines.
Professional commenter is asking if I snore, and so is Faith. Why are you guys believing Stripe's lies? You know that this chick's like awful, right? Like to the core. It's what
I've never hurt anyone in my life, and I wouldn't hurt you.
Lucky Dragon's really into dragons, and that's adorable.
They got some YouTube videos. I haven't watched them yet.
Do what?
They have some YouTube videos, and I haven't watched them yet.
Who has YouTube videos? Lucky Dragon?
Mhm.
What, where they draw?
No, they just show off their collection.
Wasn't 15, wasn't they, oh, fuck, man, I'm really gone. This is gonna have to stop soon. Aren't they 15 years old? Isn't that what they were saying? So you're telling me that a 15-year-old has a more profound collection of things than you do? In your face.
I never said that. They probably do have more than 23 of whatever I have, though.
You only have 23 of your switchables.
You'll be above. Well, I don't know. I have to stop, turn around, and count them to be sure, but I'm not gonna do that.
I feel like this is really poorly spaced. So give me a second to space the chat a little bit better, because it was spaced better before. Oh, jeez. Seriously, guys, you know what I want to do is a 24-hour stream that seems to be really popular with the kids. See what I'm saying? So, what would catch fire in that capacity? You know what I mean?
Where's my canvas? I made these, like, pixel-sized canvases in case this ever happened. There it is. I don't know what you do for the 24-hour streams. You could play games for 24 hours. I don't think you could.
No, I don't want to have to. I want it to be almost autonomous, the same way that those streams where people just run music for 24 hours works. I tried to do it one time with the TIFU stream, but it wouldn't work. I don't think anybody would have patience for that. Like, not my subscribers anyway. You know what I mean? And I'd be trying to catch people that are off channel, but I don't think they'd be particularly interested in it either. So, Funky Donkey says, do you like anime, Kyle? Every fucking time he asks me this crap. Every time.
I need you to tell me what to draw. What do you want to pixel of?
Nothing. Stripes.
I hate you. Then ask someone in this chat to tell me what to draw.
This is over. This is a thing for another time. And I'm surprised that everybody in the stream is like, I don't know, not using the opportunity to go crazy. I would imagine one person has always wanted this opportunity to take the floor, but maybe they're scared as hell of Faith and what she'll do.
I haven't seen Faith ban anyone yet.
But she's ready. She's ready and waiting.
I haven't played Animal Crossing in a long time and I feel bad.
Oh no, she's gonna do Animal Crossing. Guys. I want to keep the idea that maybe I snore alive, even though it's clear that I don't. So I can't fall asleep and make it so that you guys find out definitively one way or another if I do or don't. Because I like the mystery, you know? Want to remain an enigma for people.
You want it to be not true. I understand.
What does that mean? I'm wondering if, like, I wish I had the nerve to straight go to sleep on stream and just leave it on, you know? I just know that it wouldn't make anything, so there'd be no point to it. Like, if I woke up and knew that I was going to make $5 cool, you know, off of, like, somebody leaving their stream on. Like, imagine if, like, a couple people with YouTube Red were watching or something, and then, like, I guess it makes me money or something. I don't know how it works. I guess I can't say I care. Look at you drawing lazy Animal Crossing. Not lazy like the art is lazy, but like whenever I see people's half eyes open like that, I think lazy.
I wish that I had the character. I told you I made Lenny face characters, so I can like just farm them every day. Do they have fingers? I don't think they do. We're gonna pretend they don't.
Yo, Funky Donkey, you spelled personal right, you idiot. The quote is nothing personnel. That's why it's hilarious. Ugh. I hate it when people come in here and shit all over my memes.
Can I be honest?
What?
I actually look forward to seeing Mario Mystery Box whenever he decides to show up. He is a treat.
Lady Spook can say shit like that, but you can't. You haven't earned that. The problem is, he's only like amusing in a novelty way to me. The same way where like he changes his name and I'm like, oh yeah, really big mystery who this guy is now. Fucking incredible. Guys. I love you. Sonic's slick rings, okay. You see what I'm talking about? Oh man. Professional commenter says, does anyone know a website that teaches you to draw hentai? I think you should just look up hentai references on Google, and that you'll get some really interesting things that will
It's to just look at actual people naked and go from there.
Not with hentai. Hentai style is very specific. You should probably type the type of hentai that you're looking into, and then just type reference right after it into Google Images, and you'll get pages upon pages of, like, you know, grids and styles that you might like to emulate. And then I'd suggest not tracing them, but trying to imitate them until, you know, it's under your fingers in a capacity where you can think it and then draw it, and then think up cool poses, and then, you know, like the girls spread all over and the tentacles are coming, you know, whatever it takes.
Hey, who was the one political figure who was caught, like, Googling hentai?
All of them, I'd imagine. All of them wrecked the hentai when the reeves of the cherry brusher.
And then he put his foot in his mouth and said it, like, first he was adamant that, oh, it's not what it looks like, and then he said, oh, but even if I were into hentai, what's the big deal? And then he deleted that tweet. So I don't know what's up with it.
Someday I'll have somebody to research crap that you say to make sense of it all, Stripes. Hey guys, what? I'm gonna share with you a joke that I told Stripes earlier to end the stream, okay? So Stripes, be quiet, because I'm gonna share.
Okay.
Oh crap, but I'm gonna have to find it, which may be difficult. Hold on.
Do you think anyone would ever pay me to draw their Animal Crossing villager?
It's a very specific thing, Stripes. So I guess if you dug yourself into that, If you dug yourself into that fucking, what do you call it? That, like, neighborhood, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What? What's up?
Oh, these are based on size. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, I thought I lost the thing that I recorded earlier. Alright, here it is. Give me a second, guys. I'm just gonna crank it up and play it. Be quiet, Stripes. Yesterday, my daughter was playing in the garden when I saw her kill a butterfly. So, to teach her a lesson, I said, just for that, you don't get any butter for a month. Today, in the kitchen, she killed a cockroach. I said, nice try.
I can't relate, but what's the joke?
One more time. Yesterday, my daughter was playing in the garden when I saw her kill a butterfly. So to teach her a lesson, I said, just for that, you don't get any butter for a month. Today in the kitchen, she killed a cockroach, and I said, nice try.
Is a joke that the mom is making the little girl eat roaches?
The implication is actually that the joke is being told from the perspective of a father. So, with that in mind, let's try it again. Yesterday, my daughter was playing in the garden when I saw her kill a butterfly. So to teach her a lesson, I said, just for that, you don't get any butter for a month. Today, in the kitchen, she killed a cockroach. I said to her, nice try.
I don't get it. Was I wrong the second time?
Yesterday, my daughter was playing in the garden and I saw her kill a butterfly. So to teach her a lesson, I said, you don't get any butter for a month. Today in the kitchen, she killed a cockroach. I said, nice try.
Ugh!
Okay. At least finally you fucking... God damn it. You know what I mean? How old are you again? Can you tell? Can you tell everybody? How old?
5.
Ugh. Ugh. What's wrong with you?
I'm trying my best.
Oh my god. So there was that. Stripes didn't get the joke. Does anybody in the stream not get the joke? Does anybody in the stream not get that joke? Okay. Pretty straightforward stuff. I don't even know sometimes. Did you hear it, Stripes?
No, you weren't sharing sounds.
Well, it was the joke from earlier about the butterfly and the cockroach.
I get it now. I get it now, okay.
Well, she gets it now. I feel like my stomach is hurting in a capacity that I can only hope has nothing to do with me vomiting up my own poop. So guys, it's been a wonderful night. I'm glad I could share it with you, and I hope to spend time again with you soon. Hey look, Stripes is drawing her thing, and you'll be able to see the completed thing wherever she intends to throw it up. I will catch you all soon. I am so dead. Love you. Good night, guys.